Welcome to case 18-1. Here we're going to talk about business combinations. So this case is about Coffee Co., the company, which is also registered with the SEC, and their operations are in the US, Canada, South America. So they enter into an agreement with Nature's Beverage, a food distributor in the United States, in order to purchase a sub-license to Nature's Beverage for the distribution rights of South American local tea brand Herbal Tea. So what the agreement will do, or the sublicense will do, will allow Nature's Beverage will distribute herbal tea in South America. So under the agreement, Company Co. transferred the existing customer contracts in South America, Nature's Beverage, etc., etc. So you can read the rest of the details here. So there's some additional information about the transaction. And the two case questions are, does the acquisition of the sublicense by Nature's Beverage to distribute herbal tea meet the definition of a business? And then dependent on your answer to number one, either it is a business or it's not a business, how would Nature's Beverage account for the acquisition, including the treatment of the transaction costs? So if you deem that the acquisition of the sublicense, it meets the definition of a business, then they would account for the acquisition using purchase accounting per the guidance. If you determine that it is not meet the definition of business, then it would be a normal asset acquisition under the guidance. So let's take a look at the guidance and what we need to understand. So the first thing that we always talk about is the guidance is under Broad Transactions 805 Business Combinations. So we're going to start actually with looking at the scope and scope exemptions. So here you'll see what type of transactions fall under this guidance. And for part 15-4B, it talks about the acquisition of an asset or a group of assets that does not constitute a business. So if you determine that this is a business, it will fall under the scope of this guidance. If it's not a business, it won't fall under the scope of this guidance, and you need to look at the guidance for asset acquisitions. So here you'll see the definition of a business. It describes the definition, and then it refers you to additional guidance. And please pay attention to the note where it talks about that there's pending content. So this is actually the guidance that you want to refer to. New guidance has been issued, and please watch the video on the new guidance that's in Engage. But basically it's talking about some additional guidance for what constitutes a business and how to treat that transaction. So we're going to look at 805-10-65, 805-1055-3A through 55-6, and 55-8 through 55-9 to define what is considered a business. So if we go back to business combinations, so you'll see that the guidance they refer to, 65 has the transition and open effective date information, and then 55 has the implementation guidance. So you can refer to this guidance, and here's 3A. And the additional guidance. So here's the guidance that you're going to look at. So it talks about the definition of a business having three elements. So it's the inputs, the process, and the output. So here is a graphic that you can refer to. So you'll see that the inputs are basically the economic resources that it creates. So intangible assets, right to use long-lived assets, etc., etc. The outputs are the result of the inputs and processes applied. So basically the income or other revenues. And then the processes are any system, standard, protocol, convention, etc. When applied to the inputs when applied to the inputs, creates the ability to contribute to the outputs. So I'm just going to stay there for a second while I continue to talk. In this transaction, there's three things that you're really looking at. One is the license to distribute herbal tea in South America. Two is the customer contracts. And three is the supply agreements. So you're going to have to look at those and determine whether the transaction has inputs, processes that create outputs. If not, then it would be a regular asset acquisition. So again, you're going to be looking at the implementation guidance to help you with this case, And as always, please reach out to your instructor with any additional questions. Thank you.